Prince Charles recently came and met with you in Ireland. What did he say to you?
Hey, Gerry. Uh, Martin McGuinness did the big lifting on that. He met Charles's mother, uh, and that was probably a bigger thing than I did. Uh, because Martin did that, even though Martin, God rest him, would have been totally against monarchies of any kind, and particularly would be against, you know, an English queen, if you like, having jurisdiction over Irish affairs. If the English want to have their own queen, that's a matter for themselves. Uh, so he did the heavy lifting on all of that. But I learned that Charles was coming to Ireland, and you will know that he lost family members. Lord Mountbatten was killed, and a young local chap, a young boy, was killed, and other members of the family, including one woman and another boy, were killed by the IRA. So, as part of his visit, he was going to go to Mullaghmore up in Sligo, where this had happened. And I thought, in the course of our efforts to continue reaching out, he's the same age as me. I've lost family members. He had lost family members. He has a position of responsibility. He's also the commander-in-chief of the parachute regiment, which I spoke of earlier. So I thought that it would be a good thing if we got together. And I got in touch with him. And we did that, and Martin McGuinness travelled down to the meeting. And we had a very good meeting. We met quietly and privately for a half an hour or so. And later, when he came back, he was in Ireland there just a few months ago, and I was invited to go to the reception for him. And again, we spoke briefly, and he commiserated with me over Martin's death and said he was sorry to hear that Martin had died, and he told me that he had written to Martin's wife, Bernie. So I think it was a good thing to do. Martin's main reason for doing, but my reason was slightly different. But Martin's main reason for doing the outreach with the British royal family, the English royal family that he did, was as a gesture towards the Unionists. That he was saying to the Unionists, you know, we get a united Ireland. We're going to protect and uphold and not deny you whatever sense of Britishness you may have. So his was aimed mostly at our Unionist neighbours, and but I also have to say that he did have a sense that Queen Elizabeth valued the peace process.
And what was your reason? You said yours was different.
Because there are very few conflicts when they end that there are processes of trying to get reconciliation. Certainly not as quickly as we're trying it. So, you know, the conflict's only the IRA cessation is 20 years old this month. There's never been a process of reconciliation after the Civil War. It's still, and the commemoration of the Civil War will be in the next few years. But there's still huge contention about the killing of Michael Collins, about De Valera's role in the treaty, about all of the things that happened, about all the Republicans that were shot to death on the side of the road, or in some cases hanged later on. So there's never been any attempt to it was a big schism in Irish politics for a long time, the Civil War politics. So we're trying, even before the ink is dry on the agreements, to get reconciliation and to understand and to get others to understand. Now, the Unionist leaders do not agree to this. What we're saying to them, and I've said this publicly, We only get a sense of our own history if we respect every narrative. So I have my narrative, okay, and I'll give you some of it tonight. An RUC officer sitting here tonight could give you his version of the story I've told. I have to respect that. I don't have to agree with him, but I have to respect that when you lay those narratives, a unionist, a person killed by the IRA, a civilian shot, an informer shot, a British Army officer shot, that when you lay all of those narratives down, then you have a sense of the completeness of our history. And if we're going to get the chance to have big gestures like me meeting with Prince Charles, then that's an attempt to try and implement that thought.